Inspiration, I will go and take Trump out tonight.
That, of course, is Maxine Waters. She's been kind of pushed to the back seat by the woman in the cowboy hat from Florida for the last week or so. But Maxine is trying to get back in the game. Right, Ann Coulter?
Beautiful description of what is happening.
They're all they're all just dueling to become the number one anti-Trump person. Everybody's out. CNN now has a new slogan: "Facts first," because they're going up against MSNBC to be the most anti-Trump, and and you got to.
I still think.
Go ahead.
Democracy dies in darkness is still my favorite. The Washington Post slogan for the Trump era.
Yes, I know. It's yeah. So Ann, what are you? Are you feeling better about Donald Trump these days, or not so good still?
Well, we haven't started the wall yet. I don't know if you've noticed. You have noticed there are good parts and there are bad parts. I just wish he would start to notice that whenever he does the stuff he campaigned on, there's flowers and sunshine. The media can't lay a finger on him, and when he goes wandering off the reservation, that's when he gets himself in trouble and is going to lose his base. I mean, he still has time, but if he doesn't start the wall by pretty soon, it's going to be a blowout in 2018. I think other Republicans will be punished. You will have so many Republican voters out there just exquisitely primed to be betrayed one more time. They weren't, and what we're getting and are seeing a lot of it is an awful lot of globalism and this concern with Venezuela and China and Israel and where the embassy is and Saudi Arabia and the Pope and I'm sorry, what happened to the jobs on the wall? Wasn't this president going to finally give America some me time?
Well, yeah, but I mean I know the wall is a disappointment, but the economy is looking better, though, isn't it, Ann? Come on, you got to give him that.
I don't think so. I don't think you have any steel workers or manufacturing workers getting jobs. The opioid crisis is no better. The heroin crisis is no better. We need a wall. He promised us a wall. And instead it's just all this. Well, look, on the bright side, ICE seems to be doing its job. We are moving ahead with the temporary travel ban. He has lunatics attacking him. I'd kind of prefer to get together the populists in the Democratic Party and the populists in the Republican Party and start a third party at this point. I was just reading about Jeff Flake in the Weekly Standard and George Bush, and they are just full on everything I hate about politics. There is no moving them. The Trump election has had zero effect on Washington. But I think a lot of the swamp seems to be sucking Trump in rather than Trump putting his foot down and saying, this is what I got elected on. This is what I'm pushing through. Yeah. The infrastructure bills, the wall. No, he's doing all the Paul Ryan stuff.
What about George Bush attacking him last week? Kept his mouth shut for 8 long, horrible years when Obama was president and said, another one president, former president shouldn't attack the guy who's in the office. And now he's renounced that vow, and he's getting down on Donald Trump. Yes, and contrary to the rumors and image that were given of Donald Trump and the Trump White House, I thought the Trump White House and Trump himself responded quite appropriately and genteelly, unlike Bush, and said, well, ex-President Bush said that he was not referring to Trump, so we will take him at his word, and had no response to it. My response is, oh my gosh, you are the reason we had to vote for this reality TV star. You are everything we are rejecting.
nothing. And like Jeff Flake, like a lot of these Republicans, Bush will not give up on the open borders. It really is just, the fancy rich people who want to pay their nannies less versus Americans.
Yeah, we got some. I want to play a couple of clips for you here. These are the listen. I want to play the Bannon threatening Mitch McConnell clips. Here, listen.
Now, Mitch, I don't know if you're watching today. I don't know if you're watching. I've been getting calls. It's like before the Ides of March, right? The only question is, and this is just an analogy or metaphor, whatever you want to call it, they're just looking to find out who's going to be Brutus to your Julius Caesar.
What do you think of that, Ann? That's Steve Bannon talking about Mitch McConnell, basically saying, that he's going to be assassinated like Julius Caesar on the Ides of March.
Well, I'm worried about this. My whole political life seems to be in this eternal recurrence of the same thing over and over again. I mean, I wrote about this in my book, Never Trust a Liberal Over Three, how the Tea Party went through this, or sort of fake Tea Partiers running on that. We don't like the Bushes, we don't like the Flakes. We want politicians to represent Americans' interests and not be running around the globe fixing everybody else's borders. But we lost approximately 6 to 10 Republican Senate seats through those, I think it was the 2010 and the 2012 elections with the Todd Akins and Richard Murdoch and Christine O'Donnell's. And I'm worried that...
Don't forget Sharon Angle in Nevada.
Sharon Angle. You had the wrestling lady in Connecticut. You had...
Well, she had a lot of money,
Tom
though.
Beecher in West Virginia. You need a good candidate. I mean, I'm all for running against Jeff Flake and his ilk. But first of all, be careful about picking the correct Republicans to be running against. And Roger Wicker in Mississippi is not one of them. But Bannon's position is, no, we're running against all of them but Ted Cruz. Well, Ted Cruz, did you see he has an op-ed piece in the New York Times today, talking about, I don't know, moving the embassy to Jerusalem or something. No, he's right back to the globalist Ted Cruz.
He's also voted less with Donald Trump than Barrasso from Wyoming, who they say they're gonna run somebody against. I don't know what their problem is with him. But
no, I agree with you. So I think they're picking the wrong Republicans to take out, and they are picking the wrong Republicans to run on. The issue of this election, the issue of any election, if you want to win an election, it's immigration. How many times do we have to go through this?
I understand.
Did you see the article by Andrew Sullivan?
Yes, I did see that. That was a very interesting article. Andrew Sullivan, who's a well-known blogger, he said that the immigration is the preeminent issue in the Western world, and that's why all these elections are going the way they're going, whether it's Austria or Brexit or Donald Trump. Yeah, I thought he made a really good point, and I'm surprised it's taken this long for the alt left to figure it out.
No, I know, and I'm not sure they will. He's out there kind of alone, but it's true. We're part of the movement that I thought had discovered it, but apparently the rest of my party hasn't. I mean, the Republicans that Bannon is throwing out, they're not even talking about immigration. It's just ripping down Mitch McConnell. And, okay, why don't I like Mitch McConnell? Well, first let me tell you the things I like about Mitch McConnell. He actually is a very good negotiator. It was under Mitch McConnell's leadership of the Republicans that not one Republican, not McCain, not Collins, voted for Obamacare. That's pretty huge. He also, I'll just give you one other feather in his cap. He was the one who negotiated that, what was it called? Where
well, he got us Gorsuch. That's another thing. I mean, he stopped
that deal. The sequester deal, that's what it was called. When they couldn't agree on a budget, Mitch McConnell, they passed a law that was then thrown away by Paul Ryan, that if Democrats and Republicans couldn't agree on a budget, you would just... And then Paul Ryan comes along, and he gets outsmarted by the stupidest living person, Patty Murray from Oregon.
Washington.
Okay, there are good things about Mitch McConnell. Bad thing is last time he ran, on blocking Obama's executive amnesty, and then he didn't do it. So if you're going to go after Mitch McConnell, focus on what he didn't give us. We want Republicans to be more populist. We don't want to run Christine O'Donnell's. I love Christine O'Donnell.
But Ann, I mean, you can't have it both ways. You know, you're talking about Flake, and Flake is a squish on immigration, but yet you seem to not want to take him out because you don't think that the state senator Kelly Ward could defeat whoever the Democrat is. I mean, which is it?
No, you have. Well, I think we have one part of that equation correct. Definitely take out Flake, but don't. Why are you wasting your time with Barrasso? Why should any energy be spent taking out Barrasso in Wyoming? Yes, Flake is definitely one who should be taken out, and I don't know. I'm not sure if Kelly Ward is the one to do it.
Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, a lot of these people look pretty good. I mean, look, Roy Moore. I mean, I don't know if he's going to lose or not, but it seems like that race is a lot closer than it should be in Alabama, you know?
No, that's right. I mean, he's the guy now, so we have to absolutely support him. But as you probably know, when it was three of them, I was supporting Mo Brooks, who is fantastic on immigration.
Yeah. Yeah, but he was from a smaller part of this. He was a congressman, and the other two were statewide, right. So he didn't really have the base to prevail. And
right,
he didn't.
Too bad. There's absolutely nothing wrong with him, and he's fantastic on immigration. He's better on immigration than Donald Trump is. He's been one of the leaders in the House on immigration. Unfortunate, but okay. So Roy Moore says he'll be good on immigration, but I just think this has to be done. I mean, it's so we've lost so many Republican seats. It doesn't help us to hand over the United States Senate and the United States House to the Democrats. Bad things happen when Democrats have control of both houses of Congress.
Yes, and if we could put together some sound cuts, we'd play some Nancy Pelosi stuff for you. But it's too crazy now. You can't even really string it together as gibberish anymore. Did you hear her? Did you hear? She was calling Mueller mother yesterday. Mother.
No. I get all the good news from you, Howie.
Yeah. All right, Ann Coulter, what's the title of your new book in case people want to pick up a great read?
In Trump We Trust, E Pluribus Awesome.
All right, Ann Coulter, thanks for being with us on the Howie Carr Show. I'm Howie Carr.